There is one verse in the Qur'an that most Muslims have read their entire lives and never fully stopped to think about. It describes Jinn diving into the depths for a prophet of Allah. That is not an interpretation. That is the plain sense of the Arabic text. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly what that verse proves, what the classical scholars said about it, and where the line is between authentic Islamic knowledge and the stories people have added on their own. Because that line is more interesting than the stories. Sulaiman alayhi salam, son of Dawood, prophet of Allah, king of a kingdom no human being has held before or since. In Surah Saba, verse 35, he asked Allah for a kingdom that would belong to no one after him. Allah answered, he was given the wind, the language of birds, and direct authority over the jinn. Surah Al-Naml, verse 17, describes his army as jinn, men, and birds, marching in rows. Now, Surah Al-Anbiya, verse 82, and of the devils were those who dived for him, and did work other than that, and we were their guardian. 3 facts. That is all this verse gives us. 1. Some jinn dived for Sulaiman alayhi salam, descending into the depths. 2. They also did other work beyond diving. 3. Allah was their guardian while they did it. That is what the Qur'an states. The Arabic word for their diving, yahusoon, means to plunge deep, full submersion, a descent, not surface level, not shallow water, down. Now here is where it gets important. Imam Ibn Kathir mentions that these jinn performed difficult tasks and labor connected to Suleiman's kingdom, including work that ordinary humans could not do. Surah Saba, verses 12 and 13, describes what those works resulted in. Elevated chambers, statues, basins the size of reservoirs, immovable cooking pots, built by jinn working before the prophet by the permission of their Lord. So the classical scholars confirm extraordinary labor, large-scale construction, capabilities beyond normal human limits of that time. This much is established. Now here is where most go wrong. People hear jinn dived into the depths, and they immediately add underwater cities, hidden kingdoms, forbidden civilizations beneath the waves, jinn empires that still exist today on the ocean floor. None of that is in the Qur'an. None of that is in the classical Tafsir. None of that is in a single Sahih Hadith. It is imagination dressed in Islamic language. And your ability to tell the difference is exactly what separates knowledge from entertainment. The Quran says they dived. The Quran says they worked. The Quran says Allah guarded them. It does not say they built cities down there. It does not say those cities still exist. It does not say the ocean floor is their permanent territory. What it says is already extraordinary enough. Now look at that third fact from the verse again. And we were their guardian. This is not a small detail. This is the theological core of the entire account. The jinn did not dive because they were free agents doing as they pleased. They dived within a framework of divine permission and divine protection. They operated entirely within the boundaries Allah set. This one phrase dismantles the idea of jinn as independent, all-powerful beings. They were workers, under authority, watched over, contained. Even in the deepest places, they were not free. And then it ended. Surah Saba, verse 14. Sulaiman alayhi salam died, standing upright, leaning on his staff. The Jinn kept working. The diving continued. The construction went on. They did not know. A worm ate through the staff. He fell, and in that single moment, the entire operation dissolved. Allah then delivers the verdict on the Jinn's supposed power. When he fell, it became clear to the Jinn that if they had known the unseen, they would not have remained in humiliating punishment. The beings who dived into the depths could not detect that the man giving them orders had already been dead long enough for a worm to hollow out a wooden staff. That is the Qur'an's own commentary on Jinn capability. Extraordinary in some ways, completely blind in others. This is the pattern the Qur'an establishes consistently about Jinn. They are real. They have capabilities beyond human beings in certain dimensions. They can be commanded. They can dive. They can build. They can work at a scale that staggers the human imagination. And they cannot know the unseen unless Allah allows it. Surah Al-Naml, verse 65. No one in the heavens and the earth knows the unseen except Allah, Jinn included.
So where does that leave us with the ocean? Today, with all of our submarines, sonar technology, and deep-sea exploration, more than 80% of the ocean floor has never been seen by human eyes. The Quran does not tell us what is down there now. It does not tell us whether Jinn still inhabit the deep. It does not give us a map of their current world. What it tells us in Surah Al-Rahman, verse 20, is that Allah placed a barrier between two bodies of water that do not transgress against each other. The ocean, in the Islamic worldview, is a sign. Full stop. Not a location for Jinn kingdoms. Not a forbidden territory. A sign pointing to its creator. That brings us to the real question. Not what is hidden in the ocean, but this. Why do we find it so difficult to let the Quran's account be enough? The actual Quranic account of Jinn diving under the command of a prophet, guarded by Allah, working at a scale beyond human capacity, and then stopping instantly because a worm ate through a staff, is already more powerful than any invented story. It does not make you fear the ocean. It makes you reflect on who controls everything within it. The ocean keeps its depths hidden, not because Jinn are protecting them, but because Allah has not yet shown them to us. And that distinction between what Allah has revealed and what human imagination has added is the only map worth following. The unseen belongs to Allah alone. Surah Yunus, verse 20.